Hello, welcome to Majestic Words Podcast. I'm Giovanna, and this is
Reneyywaters.
So Renee, do you know who you are?
Girl, no. It's like, nah, I know who I am. Do you know who you are?
Every day I'm learning something new. I said, Lord, I thought you delivered me from this, but that one.
No, for real. Because I sent the prayer in 2 months ago. Why am I still the same?
Yeah. I'm like, Lord, like, give me the words, because something I'm doing ain't right.
No, but it's important to, know who you are as a person. So, I don't know. When it comes to knowing who you are, I feel like it's a lot of aspects to it. Like, it's a lot of, I feel like knowing who you are takes progress. I was just talking to Giovanna too about this. I know I'm always like, I was talking to Giovanna about this, but I was telling her that in high school, I thought I knew who I was, but I didn't really know who I was until I hit college and I learned my likes and my dislikes. It's like, I don't know, will you ever really know who you are? That's the real question.
We're constantly evolving. So right. That is so true, because in high school you thought you know who you are, but I think in every stage of life, and you're in a different space, right? Like you might be one person at home, but when you go to work, you're a different person.
Yeah.
And so those things that you're experiencing, they kind of mesh together, and you might start taking traits that you picked up at work home and the opposite. So like you were saying, I thought I knew who I was in high school, but when I got my freshman year at college, I said, Jesus. I said, Lord, I thought I knew who I was, but I mean, I literally was rebirthed, because especially when you go through something like traumatic, or you just deal with some crazy stuff, that's a whole nother thing. So you're learning yourself through that, because trauma changes you, and trauma also can make you who you are, right? Have you ever dealt with anything that made you change, like for the worse before the better?
Well, we could talk about like in the building or the process of becoming who you are. So I just feel like a lot of trauma, I've been through a lot in my life I don't know. I mean, I have been through a lot in my life. Just building upon who I am, an experience that I've probably been through, I would say, like, I think I'll just take it back to high school days. Like, in the process of building who I was in high school, like, I would wear certain stuff to high school every day. But then now that I look back at it, I'll be like, what was you wearing?
No. Because we first of all, your outfits was cute, okay? Your outfits was cute. People just didn't know how to dress.
No steak.
No. People didn't know how to dress. So that's the truth of it. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I just feel like, in the process of becoming who I was, like, I had to go and experience different aspects in my life. Especially when it comes to relationships and things of that nature. I do feel like, a lot of my relationships, it has built me to be who I am. And I think we're speaking on that also, like, the dangers of relationships making you who you are. Like, ooh. I feel like, I mean, it is.
Talk about it.
Listen, it's dangerous. For
the good and bad, though.
For the good and the bad, because it allows you to open your eyes and, realize the good and bad things about yourself. But,
and you learn boundaries, too.
Yeah, you learn boundaries, but it's dangerous. Like, a relationship can really make you or break you as a person in becoming who you are, if that makes sense. But it's like, I feel like a lot of the characteristics that I have today was built upon my relationships. Do I like them? No. But it's just really important that you just pay attention to who you are becoming.
Right, and to add on to that, what you're allowing to influence your decisions in your life. Because I always say, one thing that growing up taught me, and just experiencing different things in my life. I'm so young, and it's just amazing how much you can go through. I just reflected on it, right? One thing I always tell myself, I said, nobody is in control of how I react. I'm in control of how I react. So although the person may have treated me bad, or exposed me to something that they shouldn't really have exposed me to, or for the good and the bad, I have the right to react in the way that I think is best serving to me and maybe the other person, right? So I always tell myself, if somebody pisses me off, I'll be like, Lord, Giovanna, you are in control of your reactions. You are in control of how you respond. And one thing about me is, if I say it, I think about it before I say it. So if I say it, it's done. Okay, I mean it. Okay. But we're in control of how we respond, and what we say, it also shapes our identity. It's not just about what we put out, because we could put out one thing, but people could see right through us. So that's why it's important to not allow people to influence you to the point where you're saying something reckless out your mouth just because they made you mad, but to be in control of who you are and what you say, because what you say is how you're perceived. And that's a whole different identity, right? Yeah. So that what you perceive as yourself and what other people perceive, that's two different identities.
Yeah, no, that's true. I do feel like, that's true, because that's another thing. I also realized that I pick up a lot of what people say too, and you got to be careful as well, because like we said in our last episode, friends can even influence you in becoming who you are. So I do always feel like you should take that gracing period of just sitting with yourself and just being with yourself, even if that's a month or two, and just realizing the things that you like or don't like. I didn't realize that a lot of people had a lot of influence on me until, I actually sat down with myself and I was like, dang, I'm doing the same thing the last person did to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that, everybody just sits down and just takes that time of reflecting upon themselves and realizing who am I becoming, who am I, and
who you want to be.
And who you want to be. So look at that.
Yeah, and who you want to be.
Yeah. So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in on this episode, and check us out for the next episode.